So I welcome you again as we get into lesson 13.
Yes.
We are almost there. We're just remaining with 3 more to go. And I think this is a spirit. We agreed we keep moving until the very end. So we are focused now on finishing the lessons and also on working on our groups. I hope you saw the new groups, and it is funny because I think both of you belong to the same group, Mr. Njao and Elze.
Yes, I do. I did.
Yeah, so we are only having one group today.
Sure.
Yeah, but we'll.
Yes. Our group is normally active.
Yeah, and I think I'm hoping the others will also catch up by Thursday, so that we have almost everyone on board for the presentations. Otherwise, today we are on lesson 13, and this is a very, very important lesson. This is the backbone of leadership. I think I mentioned about vision being the backbone, but it's core. But the foundation of everything else that we've been talking about is built on the power of character in leadership. So as we move on, we'll be able to get the essence why we are saying character is a foundation, because if anything else is not built on this, then the vision can collapse very easily, and all those other aspects of leadership can collapse if this part of leadership is not there or is not well grounded. So, Elze, maybe you can, Mr. Njao, maybe you can mute. Elze.
Mr. Njao, you can mute.
Yeah, so you can mute your, okay, let me mute for you so that we don't have a lot of echo. So you can see my screen. There is an image there. I hope all of you can be able to see that image.
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah, what comes to your mind when you see such an image? Maybe first what it is and what can it, what does it inform? Which message can we learn from this in relationship to our lesson today?
It is a statue of a leader who is on top of the nation. Can you get it?
I think for me,
Okay, so Elze, I think your network is still having issues, but as Mr. Njao, you have said, one is a statue, which is correct, and two is also a leader. Yeah, statue.
Yes.
And a leader.
and then also,
yeah.
like someone who has like a projection mind. He has like a projection mind to to achieve something because
Yeah.
it's looking far.
Yeah.
It's a long-term vision.
Vision. Yeah, I think that's very good observation. Yeah, a leader, a statue with a vision, and basically, when we talk about character, this statue or this leader will always be the same. Either it's shining, it's raining, whatever the condition, the leader will, this statue will remain permanent. Yeah. So, and those are some of the aspects that we're going to explore when we are talking about character, as we define what character is. But looking at what Dr. Tim Elmo said about leadership, according to him, based on his iceberg model on leadership, the 10% above the iceberg or above the water is leadership skills. But the 90% below the water is a leader's character. So, and that's why I started by saying it is the foundation, because if you have 90% being supported by 10% being supported by 90%, then it means that 90% is very critical. So according to him, character is 90% because everything else, including the vision, the purpose that you've been talking about, and all those aspects are built on that. So he argues that personal character impacts on leadership image, and besides acquiring skills and the knowledge and traits, whatever, all those other aspects we've discussed, character is a backbone of leadership. So today we are focusing not just the leadership academics or the leadership competency, but also the leadership morality, and those are issues of character or integrity. So what is character? In our manual, we are on page, on which page? So we are on page 91. On page 91, there is a definition there or some information about character. And we are saying character and integrity are the most valuable assets of a leader. They engage trust, then show commitment, and also prove ability. They show who you truly are besides what you can do. So trust is anchored on character. Issues of commitment and issues of even ability, they are all anchored on what we are talking about, character. And on page 90, we talked about some aspects that we need to watch out. And we look at the first thing in this statement. It talks about watch your thoughts because they lead to attitudes. And then our attitude can lead to words. Then words will lead to actions. Then actions will lead to habit. And habits will lead to character. And character determines the destiny of a leader. Yeah, so the only thing that refuses to die with a leader is character. The body and everything else can die, but character will remain permanent. Someone said character is the only thing, the only aspect that refuses to be buried with someone. When someone is buried, it remains behind. It keeps on informing us about that person in terms of his character, or in terms of whatever aspect or whatever reputation a person left behind. So a person who values its privileges above its principles can soon lose both. So principles are very key when you're talking about leadership. It's not only privileges. I think in some setups, people are so focused on their rights and their privileges to the extent that people can sacrifice their own principles or their values. So what is character? Character is having the inner strength. It's about the inner man, the inner person, to be truthful, trustworthy, and to be just. And it's both consistent in terms of words and in terms of action. So a leader of character is fixed and predictable in every circumstance. Remember the statue. You can predict that when it's raining, that statue will still be seated the same. We can predict when it is daytime, that statue will be fixed and it will not change. We can also predict when it's light, in whatever circumstance or whatever situation, it is very possible to predict how that statue will be looking like. And that is basically what we are talking about character. You can predict how a leader will be when it's dark, when it's light, when the leader is alone, when the leader is in a crowd. It's very easy to predict that that leader will be seated like this, will be doing this, or will be talking or discussing with things that are consistent with the person that we have known. So a leader of a character is unchanging in terms of value and principle. So character is a dedication to set a standards without wavering. You know? So character is also a commitment to set of values, standards, and principles without compromise. We talked about the issue of people like Nelson Mandela. In jail, they would have signed deals and they would have maybe come out and lived another life and enjoyed the deals without anybody knowing. But because there were people of character and they had values and standard, even when there were no people to witness their commitment or their secret deals, they decided to stand with what they believed. And purely that is an indication of what we talk about when we talk about a leader of character. So a leader's philosophy will inform a leader's belief system, and believe what I believe as a leader, what I believe as about the people that I lead, what I believe about leadership. Those beliefs inform or produce values, and the values produce morals, and morals inform ethics, and the ethics produce character, and character becomes a lifestyle and a destiny, as we have already seen. Yeah. So leadership character is comprised of, one is self-discipline. I think I won't discuss much on this. Their core values, even in organization, you will see some of these core values displayed. This is what they believe, and this is what represent who that organization is. So even as a leader, we must have our own core values or principles that we believe that enable us to take a moral stand. Sense of identity, a realistic self-image based on your gifts and personality. Emotional security, that's the capacity to be emotionally stable and consistent. Yeah. So this statement down there, it talks about, you can see that statement, your skill. That is on which page? So your skill may get you to the top, but it is your character that will keep you there. That's still a quote by Dr. Tim Elmo. Our skills, we talked about what makes us, or what elevates one to a position of leadership. Some of those issues are skills, some of them are attitudes, some of them are special gifting, but those are that is just one aspect of leadership. What now sustains that aspect that makes or gives one influence is sustained by the character. Character is also another aspect that makes someone a leader, because it creates influence. So why character matters? There is a quote here by R.C. Samsel. He talks about character is a firm foundation stone upon which one must build to win respect. So respect, a very key word there. Respect is won through one character. Just as no worthy building can be erected on a weak foundation, so no lasting reputation worthy of respect can be built on a weak character. And why character is important? It shapes a leader's life. Actually, character summarizes who a leader is. And without character, every other aspect of leadership is at risk. I think this is what I talked about. If we fail to be people of character, then all the other aspects of leadership are at risk. Reverend Karibu.
Asante, Chairman.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Karibu sana. We just kicked on.
Asante.
We are on page 92.
Okay.
Why character matters.
Mmesonga. What is character? Mumesoma yote?
Hiyo yote tumeshasoma. Sasa uko na homework kidogo ya kufanya.
Sawa.
Yeah, so one, we have said character is the foundation upon which all the other aspects of leadership are anchored on. Now, in the first slide, let me just show you the first slide just to paint the picture of what we have talked about. Yeah, so we started with this quote, and I think this quote is good just to get the understanding of where we are coming from. You can see my screen. Yeah, so on page 90, there is this quote which I've displayed here by Dr. Tim Elmore. And according to him, based on his iceberg model on leadership, he came up with an iceberg model on leadership. And according to him, 10% above the water is leadership skills. And then 90% below the water is a leader's character. Yeah, so that's why we are saying this is the house actually. It is the house of a leader. It is the entire system of a leader. So the moment it's shaken, a leader is totally shaken. The vision is shaken, the purpose is shaken, the skills are shaken. So it's almost another core aspect that we are looking at on leadership. So I'll skip back so that we can move on. I just wanted you to get an idea of where we are coming from. Okay, so why character matters? It shapes a leader's life. Now, the summary of every leader is purely on character because of the weight. You might have a lot of weight on skills, but the weight of skills needs the weight of character for it to survive. So this is very important. And then character establishes and strengthens a leader's inner life. Character ensures private victory above public victory. This is very important. There is what we call private victory or private success. Private success is what you feel when nobody is there. What I feel in me might be in sync with what people are seeing or might not be in sync with what people are seeing. I might be successful on the outside according to people, but the private success might be communicating something else. This one we normally like bringing it on because at the end of the journey of life, private success overrules public success. So what I feel in me must be very important as a leader. Do I feel that aspect of character ethics? Character ethics is the bigger picture. Or am I concerned so much on personal? Personal ethics is what I can do myself or what I feel, even if other people do not know, it might not impact me negatively. So there is character ethics, what is displayed, and there is that personal ethics, what I only know. So this is really key for all of us. And again, why character matters. I said this, character protects a leader's life, a leader's leadership, purpose, vision, legacy, and reinforces impact. There is a time I attended a conference by Yoido Full Gospel churches in South Korea, the one for Yongcho. And when that man was speaking, he didn't need to speak a lot. The few words he spoke were very, very heavy. And I learned at some point in life, our life will be adding weight or reducing or deducting weight from what we say. Because it will not be so much of what we are saying, but it will be much on who we are. So character is about who we are, besides what we say or besides what we know. So it's what can protect our legacy. There are leaders who go and they sweep away their legacy in a minute. So if our legacy has to stand strong, then we need to really focus on this core competence that we are talking about, issues of character. Why character matters? Character confirms a leader's words, deeds, actions, and legacy. Is what I'm saying, what I'm doing, what I believe, is it in sync with who I am? So that it will be like a confirmation mark. I have spoken, and then character will be there to confirm, either to back it or to cancel. So what I say can be rubber stamped by character, or it can be nullified by character. So I think this is very critical also. It also safeguards the well-being of those under the authority and influence of a leader, which is also very important. And then character prevents a leader from hurting those around him. Just think of this. There are so many leaders that we trusted, and because of issues of character, so many people ended up being impacted negatively. There are so many, because character is not just the big issues that we might think about. It might be those simple things that we do with that motive that we know it's not right, or what I feel in me, am I doing, or am I really just to take the necessary action that I'm taking? It gets to very minor or very minute issues, starting with the inner motive, before it gets to the bigger issues that we know about, or the bigger issues that we have known about leaders who have fallen. So a leader who lacks character, we can say can be a very dangerous leader, because that's a leader that can hurt others, can misuse others, can abuse others, and can even take advantage, because that inner man does not speak anything. So such a leader can hurt others. Character influences the morality of followers. Who we follow can influence the followers. So if we are following a man of character, because of the weight of the words and the weight of life, it is very easy for us also to be able to influence, or to be influenced by that character. It preserves the longevity of leadership. There are leaders who went long time ago. Gina Miles Monroe, they went, but they are still alive in a one way or another. Yeah, but if a leader has weak character, then even that reference, even after the leader has already died or fallen, it doesn't really have that strong connection with us. But now we keep on listening to some of these leaders because their life still attracts us. Their life still influences us, even in their absence. So it's like their leadership has been stretched, extended beyond their own lifestyle. So leadership is wholeheartedly about personal development in character, in attitudes, and strengths. Strengths, we are talking about skills, and the impact, we are talking about transformation. So we have some leadership principles. I think today I'm going quite fast. Some leadership principles on page 93. Page 93. Tuko hapo. And in this, yes, the opening statement there, inasema ya kwamba character in the long run is the decisive factor in the life of an individual and of nations alike. And this informs a number of leadership principles on character that we're going to look at. And the first one, character is the foundation of true success in leadership. Yeah. Can you see number one? Umepata number one yako? Yeah.
Which page now?
Page 93. Page 93. It is not labeled one. The second line. In the long run, character is the foundation that holds success in leadership together.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there was some mistype in the manual. This was supposed to be blank so that we can be able to fill together. But if you look at the back where we have the answers, you will see these leadership principles on character. Maybe we can follow there. We can follow page 99. Let's go to page 99. So this 11, page 99, 11, leadership principles on character, they are in those notes. If you follow these notes, they are all in the part of those notes. But for now, I just want to mention, just to go through each and every one of them. As we do our own revision, we can now go through the notes and connect with the other details that is in the manual. So, but the first principle is that character is the foundation of true success in leadership. A leader cannot be successful until he's successful in terms of character. So that's the summary about leadership success. Number two, character protects a leader's potential, charisma, gift, and talent. This is more of a summary of what you've been talking about. So our charisma and our gifts and our talents are protected by character. Character qualifies a leader's consistency and predictability. You can predict. Wakati tulianza, tulioneshana an image of a statue. And we said a statue is predictable. Either it's raining, either it's sunny, either it's dark, that statue remains to be consistent. So character qualifies a leader's consistency, and predictability. You can predict whether the leader is present or absent. We know how that leader behaves. So awe Korea, awe Kenya, wherever that leader is, we can predict. We can predict. There is consistency about a person's life. So this is really key. Maybe there are people who, when they are not together, you will start getting worried. You cannot predict how that person will be, or how that leader will behave, or how that man or that child or that husband or that wife will behave in your absence. But a man of character or a leader of a character, in present or in their absence, we can be able to tell how that leader will behave. So character gives weight to a leader's communication. Words, actions, and deeds are empowered by character. Yeah, so what I say, it can only be amplified by how I live. So I think that is a statement that if we grasp that, it is good enough even for this lesson, because in the long run, it's all about the weight that we shall be adding to the visions and the leadership that we shall be offering, which is anchored on character. Character attracts trust and loyalty. Trust is earned. Yeah, you have had people who, when they are told to maybe go with someone and they feel, I can trust this man. If I'm with this person, I'm safe. Yeah, some will be like, I'm not sure. Can I be with this person and be comfortable? So trust is earned through character. Yeah, I see, like, sometimes when we go for retreats in our workplace, if you are in a group, there are people who feel very comfortable to be with some people. But when they are put together with others, they will be like, no, this one, I can't trust this person. So that's a lifestyle. They are talking based on the lifestyle that that person has built. So character self-imposes discipline and conviction. Conviction, very important, because sometimes conviction, you will have to take a stand in your absence, in the absence of everybody else. I mentioned Nelson Mandela. When nobody is there, can you be convicted to stand on the inner man and the inner character, and stand on your ground? Character integrates words, deeds, and action. Character reinforces strategy. Character is tested in privacy. Another very important aspect. Character is displayed in public, but tested in privacy. Yeah. So, because it's all about the inner man. This is not about the outer man, it's about the inner man. And then character amplifies power. Character protects vision. That's the number 11 principle on character. So basically, this is a summary on this lesson of character. But when we shall be going for our retreat, if there is a lesson that we shall need to study prayerfully, it is this one. Every time someone thinks or we feel that we are smart on character, it becomes like a trap. This is something that we keep on reminding ourselves, that I need to be alert always. I need to be sensitive always. And no one is smarter when it comes to issues of character. No one is smarter. The only person who falls is a person who feels is smarter when it comes to issues of character. That's why people like Joseph, they knew they are not smarter, so they had to take some practical steps. Some of them it was running, some of them was whatever action they could take. So if I think, and I know I'm not smarter in character, then I'll be sensitive. I'll be alert. Yeah, I think even in the Bible, Reverend, if you can remind us, kuna mahali inasema, is somewhere, I think it connects with what I'm talking about.
About character.
Yeah. Any scripture about character in the?
In Proverbs. For real inapotea, lakini naiona. I'll give you by the end of this.
Yeah.
Before the end of this, I'll give you.
So basically, this is the picture. I just wanted to paint this picture. This is a long topic, but I needed to do a summary. I've realized we have been going up to 9:30. Today, I didn't want us to prolong the lesson so much. I wanted us to finish by exactly by 9. We be through. Otherwise, let me open so that if there are any contribution, any observation, any comments, please let's share as we conclude this lesson. Mr. Njao, karibu.
I have seen character is so unique. It amplifies the power. Character integrates words, deeds, and action. In fact, character. Are you hearing me?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So character is everything.
Yeah, so maybe some practical aspect that we can be able to integrate. I was listening to Bishop J.B. Masinde on Wednesday when he was talking about Saul, that meeting he had with the leaders. And there is a pastor who asked, yeah, there is a pastor who asked this question about, I think, issues of character. And he mentioned that one of the practical approach is to have accountability partners. No one is an island. No man is an island. So, and the moment I think and I feel like I can stand on my own, no one can question me, then I've started preparing my downfall. So I think one of the practical, and this is something that we want to build, even in these sessions, this team that is coming up, or this class, it's not just for the class, but we want people that we can be able to build relationship now and in the future. I should be very open to Reverend. Reverend should be very open to me. And if Reverend feels and sees there is something that Kiaria is not taking the right approach, I think there should be that approach where Reverend can be can openly or can in whatever way be able to take action and engage me or any other person. So this is one avenue of enhancing our character by working together as a team and creating that bond that we can be able to engage freely and open our territories and our heart to be able to get feedback even from other people. Yeah, Elsa, are you still there? Can you still hear us?
There's a verse in Proverbs
22
verse 1.
22 verse 1.
A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, and favor is better than silver or gold.
Yeah.
A good name.
A good name.
or even there's a common one, though I don't know whether it is falling so much in this. Blessed is a man who walks in the counsel of the wicked, is not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the score. Okay.
Yeah.
But there are many verses on
character.
but I think that one on it is the one for Proverbs is more a good name is to be chosen.
True. It's true. This is what I was trying to figure out. Yeah, so a good reputation is more desirable than great wealth, and favorable acceptance more than silver and gold.
And gold.
That is a very good summary of character. There's a guy, alikuwa anaitwa Alexander the scientist. When he died, I think I gave this story another time. He instructed that his hands should be open and outside the casket. And what he wanted people to understand is that I was able to get a lot, I was able to accumulate a lot, but finally I've gone without anything.
There's nothing.
There is nothing. But I have left something behind, and that which we leave behind is actually the name or the character that we leave behind. I started by saying the only thing that refuses to be buried with a man is character. You go and it remains behind. It continues to represent us when we are not there anymore. Yeah, so this is key. And as I said, when we shall be going for the retreat, because this is not just a lesson that we brush through, it's a lesson that we learn prayerfully. It's a lesson that we go through with a lot of inner. David was saying, examine me, O Lord. Yeah. So we bring issues of character to very small issues. I was reading another book and it was talking about a stapler in an office. Just very simple, something that I'm not supposed maybe to use for my own private issues or business, but I'm using it for my private business. It was bringing character to very, very tangible and practical aspects of our life. And that's why I'm saying no one is smarter in this area. It's an issue that we need to adopt what David adopted, where he could allow God to examine him and to search his heart, so that starting with that inner motive of leadership, I can start telling God to align me. If there are places, there are moments that I have had my own hidden cards where unknowingly, and I knew some of them were not good, then I allow God to be able to align me in his own will. But character is the foundation. 90%, it's all about character. 20%, 10% is about the skills, is about the knowledge. So my wife will say something and then we'll get to Reverend as we get to the closure of the lesson.
I think the thing that I've gotten is my character is very important, and it is my duty to protect my character so that I do not fall. Because most of the times our characters or the character that we possess is what defines us, and without good character we always find in some ways you fall. So as we have learned, it has challenged me why I have not been able to maintain the characters of a leader. It is now upon me to make sure that I raise them up, I raise the bar so that my character may go together with everything I say or I do. So as a leader, it is my duty, and it is also our duty. Always, as the teacher has said, no one is 100% on this. So it is work working each and every day so that we may balance, the scale may be balanced so that ingine isiende juu, then there is no character. So balancing is key and maintaining is also key. Thank you.
Asante. Reverend?
I'm just thinking when I came in, when you were trying to go back, you talked about the iceberg.
Mm.
And I'm seeing it is actually what people are seeing, what is not being seen, and which is most important is the biggest part. And I'm thinking of these 11 points. It is a time that you go, as in each one of us go back, you read one by one. Like now I'm thinking of this one of character reinforces strategy. No, number 9, character is tested in privacy. Character amplifies power. Character protects a vision. The last 3, especially number 9, even in times of when no one is seeing you, what are you doing? How far can you go? What are you doing in your private time? Even what you study, what you do, where you go as a leader. And then character will protect your vision. There was the why, the how, the what. What circle? The golden circle, something.
Yes.
I remember.
Yeah, the golden
yes,
circle.
At least I was not asleep. The golden circle, this one, the character protects a vision. Now this vision, wherever we are, whatever we are doing, even in our private life, whatever we shall be doing, it will protect the vision we have. It will protect where we want to go. Even the modalities that we'll have, the why, the what, the how, the vision, and character, kama itaibeba. If we don't have the character, it will abort everything else. Thank you.
Asante. Yeah, I think if when we are balancing the house, it's normally the foundation that matters. How high you want to go depends with how strong the foundation is built. So, that's why I've been saying this is a lesson that we don't rush through. It's only that we are doing it online, but it's a lesson, as Reverend you have said, is where you read a sentence and you take an hour just to meditate and just to allow God to examine you and just to it's an encounter. It's an encounter lesson. It's not what we've been talking
Actually, they are just like prayer points.
Yeah. True.
Each one of them meditatively.
Yeah.
How are my disciplines? And the others.
Yeah, and you're not telling it to someone. Actually, you're not teaching. You are doing an inner Nizako. Yeah. So
can I say something?
Yes.
I was studying something on the I am, where Jehovah himself says, I am whom I am. And there's this, I can't even remember. It's the way you're going through internet and all that. And there's that power of the word I am. I wish you'd take like now out and imagine that who you are, as the leader you are, then you become a woman of integrity, having the strategies, my privacy, how it will amplify the power within me, how I'll protect my vision and all that. I am whom I am. because Jehovah calls. So you put that, I am that God wants me to be. A woman of character, everything. What these 11 points are, I may be. I don't know whether it is clear.
Yeah, it is. It is.
With the I ams, that I am a woman. The character in me will amplify power. The character in me, when it is tested in privacy, what comes out?
Yeah.
Evil.
True. So I request Yakomba, page 97, the whole of this session, even those who will follow this on YouTube. Please, if you are following this lesson on YouTube, I urge all of us to take time, study this lesson from page 90, one by one, in detail, all the way to page 99. And when you get to page 97, there is an evaluation, the leadership challenge. I don't want us to skip this leadership challenge. The number 1A talks about evaluate and rate your character ethics on a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is weak character and 5 is strong character. And the qualities that we are going to evaluate ourselves against are listed there in terms of integrity, humility, fidelity, temperance, courage, justice, patience, honesty, simplicity, modesty, and golden rule. So we just evaluate, and then based on the rating, there is an action point. What action am I taking on that particular quality, which I feel maybe I'm weak on, and I need to work on it. So I request all of us, we take time to go through this leadership challenge prayerfully, and as we meditate, and as we allow God, as Rebecca has said, this is work in progress, and no one is smarter in this lesson. We are all allowing God to make us better each and every day. So I thank you all, and I want to conclude by saying, given a man of strategy and a man of character to choose between the two leaders, you will prefer to go for a leader of character, because of a leader of character is a strategy in itself. If you choose a leader of character, you have chosen a strategy, and a strategy that will be able to give us victory. It is like being given Samson and being given Joseph. Both are good, and both they did exploit, but there is something that still stands out every time we talk about leader, every time we talk about Joseph. Yeah, so it's not the mighty strength that he displayed, but what we remember most are those scenarios, those private victories that you have been talking about, the private victories. When he conquered the private victory, it becomes the public victory. And that is what we always remember about such kind of a leader. It's our prayer that all of us who are undertaking this master class, that will raise the game. And I've talked about, let this be an accountability group. Let your small group be an accountability group. Let the whole bigger group be an accountability group, because no one is smarter in character. We all need each other. Yeah, otherwise, thank you so much for always being there. We are almost there. Next week, we shall be on lesson 14. And we'll be remaining, the only remaining is 3 lessons. And we're going to come out strong as we continue to pray for whatever is happening around us. I think now there is a curve on how issues are moving on. We are starting to focus more ahead, even where we had slackened a bit. I think now it's more about how do we come out better? What strategies do we need to employ wherever I'm working, whatever I'm doing, to be able to come out much stronger. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for persistence. I say God bless you so much. Elze, we're just concluding. Good to see you. I know we started with you, and I think we'll listen to the others from the YouTube, what we have discussed and agreed. Otherwise, nataka kuwashukuru na nitauliza Reverend to close with a word of prayer. But I hope you are able to catch up with your group. We did some slight changes just to strengthen the groups. So now I think we can move at a much faster pace, and we look forward to seeing those nice presentations on Thursday. God bless you.
When are the presentations?
Next week on Thursday.
Jesus.
But that's a proposal, not the final. It's just the idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Ama
It
kuna
is well. It is well.
Amen.
Okay. Tunaweza omba?
Yeah, we can pray.
Okay. Father, in the name of Jesus, we want to thank you and to bless you. Thank you for your goodness and for your mercies, Lord, and this far, Lord, that you've brought us. Thank you for the time, O Jehovah God. And I want to thank you for the knowledge, the understanding, and wisdom that we've given our teacher, Jehovah God, even as he passes on to us what he's learned, O God. We want to thank you for every moment we've gathered as a group, Jehovah God. And we want to thank even for they that have not been able at times to zoom in, O Jehovah God. May you also give them the knowledge and understanding, even as they study through the manual, even through the YouTube, O Jehovah. How we thank you and we bless you, even for whatever is remaining. Lord, we believe that God will carry us through, Jehovah. We thank you and we bless you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
And amen.
Amen. So
Thank you.
We welcome you for a cup of tea.
Today.
Eh?
Today na curfew na saa 3.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Nitakutembelea.
Tembeeni.
Asante.
Kujeni, karibuni sana.
Asante. I will talk to you tomorrow when you're in the office.
Okay, sawa.
Okay. Good night.
God bless you.
Good night. God
Good
bless
night,
you too.
all.